Some celebrity relationships are just fleeting headlines, right? They're gone in a week. But every now and then, a couple comes along that becomes something else entirely. They become a modern epic, a story that kind of defines an entire generation of pop culture. And today we are diving deep into one of the biggest of all time, a decade-long saga of first love, blinding fame, and very, very public heartbreak. And make no mistake, we're not just talking about any old celebrity couple here. People are putting this relationship in the history books, right up there with some of the most iconic, most chaotic pairings we've ever seen. We're talking Monroe and JFK. We're talking Brad and Angelina. That's the level of cultural impact we're dealing with. And at the heart of this whole thing is one word: Jelena. It's the name fans came up with, smashing Justin and Selena together. And that one word, Jelena, became the banner for this entire movement, where a whole generation of fans tracked every single move, analyzed every song, and debated every rumor. So, where did this whole phenomenon even come from? Let's rewind the clock all the way back to the beginning, to a time when it all seemed so simple, like a match made in pop music heaven. It started, of all places, at an IHOP. Can you believe it? When an 18-year-old Selena and a 16-year-old Justin were first spotted out together, she gave this now legendary denial. It was just pancakes. It was just so charmingly innocent, especially considering how complicated everything was about to get. And wow, did things move fast after that. The pancake date led to a New Year's kiss in St. Lucia. A month later, bam, they hit the red carpet at the Vanity Fair Oscars party. And just like that, Jelena was official. For the next 2 years, it was basically a fairy tale. Helicopter rides, private movie screenings, the perfect young Hollywood love story. But then, in November 2012, we saw the first little crack in the armor.
And that first crack? Well, it wasn't just a crack. It was the beginning of the whole thing starting to unravel. The next few years weren't defined by sweet red carpet moments, but by this dizzying, chaotic cycle of breakups, makeups, and really public drama. This is where the story gets messy.
The whiplash during this time was just intense. One minute, Selena drops a song that has everyone thinking they're back together. The next, Justin is telling people he still loves her, but they aren't even talking. Then you throw in Justin's legal issues, a supposed fistfight with Orlando Bloom over Selena, and then, for the first time, we hear a new name, Hailey Baldwin. The golden era was definitely over. By 2015, everything was so confusing that fans started calling it the Lost Jelena years. I mean, it's the perfect name for it, right? They were both seeing other people, but you could just feel that connection was still there. And just when you thought it was truly over for good, a video would pop up of Justin serenading Selena in a hotel bar, and the whole cycle of speculation would start right back up again. Okay, this next part is wild. Their most explosive fight didn't happen behind closed doors. Nope. It played out in real time in the Instagram comments for the entire world to see. It all started when Justin posted pics with his new girlfriend and fans got nasty. Then Selena jumped in the comments, telling him to back off if he couldn't handle it. That led to them publicly accusing each other of cheating, and it ended with the most dramatic move possible. Justin just deleted his whole Instagram. It was a total spectacle. So you'd think that's it, right? There's no coming back from a public meltdown like that. Well, you'd be wrong. Just when it seemed like every bridge had been burned to the ground, the story took one more insane turn. They were going to try one last time. And just like the very first time, it all started with a meal. In October 2017, literally days after Selena split from The Weeknd went public, who she spotted having breakfast with? Justin. A source even said he'd been texting her nonstop. I mean, the timing was just impossible to ignore. And then the sightings started to ramp up. A few days later, we get this. Pictures of them riding bikes together in LA, looking super comfortable, super happy. It felt like they were slowly easing back into the public eye, testing the waters. And then there it was, the confirmation everyone was holding their breath for. Justin's at a hockey game, Selena leans over the boards, and they have a very, very public kiss. There was no denying it anymore. Jelena was back. But that hope was so short-lived. By March 2018, just a few months after getting back together, it was over. Done. Sources said they were hitting pause to focus on their spirituality. But this time, it just felt different. It felt final. And that really was it. That was the end of the Jelena era as we knew it. What happened next was fast, it was shocking, and it would close the book on this decade-long story for good. The speed of what happened next was just staggering. In March 2018, Jelena ends for good. By September, just 6 months later, Justin Bieber is married to Hailey Baldwin. The finality of it all was stunning. But the story's real, true ending wouldn't actually come for another 4 years. And that brings us to the biggest source of fan drama for years, the alleged overlap. In 2022, Hailey Bieber finally went on the record to put those rumors to rest, stating, period, point blank, that her relationship with Justin never, ever crossed over with his time with Selena. So with Hailey's interview and with Selena consistently, repeatedly telling her fans to be kind, they really started to dismantle years of this toxic, fan-driven narrative. Hailey clarified things like the rumors about her crying at the Met Gala, and she got real about the horrible toll the online hate took on her mental health. It really brought a new level of maturity to the whole situation. And then this happened. The photo that basically broke the internet. Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber posing for a picture together. It was such a simple act, but it was so powerful. It was this quiet, graceful, and definitive statement that the chapter was closed. And not with drama, but with peace. Which kind of leaves us with one last question. After all the breakups, all the drama, all the new beginnings, the story of Jelena still captivates millions of people. It makes you wonder, right? Why is it that these epic stories of first love, especially when they're lived out under the intense pressure of fame, why do they never really seem to fade away?